Midnight and the sound of rain. Sarah's on her way again. I see her smile and close her eyes, shutting off the world outside.
Hey everyone, it's Ivan, KidBadger.com, here to bring you part 3 in my series on the Uncanna Full Spectrum CBD Oil. If you're late to the party, this is me basically finishing up my experience with the Uncanna Full Spectrum CBD Oil, this being my second bottle. Started this journey probably a good 2 months ago. So why did I start it? One, looking into things like CBD oil with respect to both kind of stress, anxiety, trying to limit that in my life, as well as something to maybe help me sleep better, to the end for me personally of just being a better father for my boys. That where being rested as well as not having as much stress, that in turn, honestly, I think leads to me being a better father for my boys, and that I have more patience for them and stuff. Like when you're well rested, things are easier to deal with, or just with less stress. So to that end, that has kind of been the premise of me getting into full spectrum CBD oil with Uncanna. How has it worked for me kind of over the last 2 months? I will say something changed up between my last video, part 2, and now, in that as far as dosage wise, the first month, basically for the first bottle, I was taking about half of a dropper, which come to find out, since it's not marked, is about half a milliliter. Well, per the directions, like recommended serving, 1 milliliter is 1 serving. So I was basically taking about half a serving in the morning for that first month or so, for the first bottle. And for this bottle, I'm like, you know what? The second video, I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 serving in the morning, 1 serving in the evening, which equates to basically 1 recommended serving, unbeknownst to me at the time. I will say about 3 days into that, for whatever reason, again, sample size of 1, but taking that second half a dropper full at night before bed, those next 3 mornings I actually woke up kind of groggy. Previously, I'd been getting to the point where I was actually getting really good sleep. And then for whatever reason, when I started taking that second dose in the evening, for me personally, I was waking up kind of groggy. And that was leading right into me actually heading back east to go do some filming with Kalashnikov USA, and then immediately following that, going to compete in the tactical games. And I'm like, nope, not gonna do that. Maybe this will even itself out and it'll be a non-issue, but I'm not gonna go compete waking up feeling groggy. So I was like, we're going back to 1 in the morning, call it good. So basically for the duration of my experience, aside from those 3 days, I've been taking half of this, which is about half a milliliter. I will say moving forward with respect to the company, they have since marked these, so it actually shows you gradations on here so you know exactly how much you're taking, which I think is awesome. I'm really glad that they did that. With all that said, what has this done for me? As best I can, looking back over my experience, again, there was kind of that first 2-week period where I don't know if it was a matter of getting this into my body to a certain level, like a threshold where I started to see beneficial effects. But I will say this has absolutely helped with respect to getting restful sleep at night, and also kind of, I think, lowering kind of stress and anxiety. Mind you, there's always going to be stress in people's lives from sources outside of our control. And same with sleep. There are nights that I slept in an airport. There's no fixing that. It sucks to sleep in an airport, on an uncomfortable bench, but traveling, shoestring budget, making it happen. And yeah, you can't get away from experiences like that that will end up affecting your life. And the other thing, quick side, is I think there's some really good benefits with this. Mind you, try and find the solution. So there's certain things that are chronic for people, whether it's chronic issues with sleep or some other thing. But then there's also, hey, why am I having trouble sleeping? Is it because of my lifestyle, because of diet, whatever it may be? Same with stress. Am I stressed because of these external factors in my life that I actually probably have a little control over? Because from like a wellness standpoint, it's way better to actually address the cause. But having said that, you also need just a stopgap measure. Like, you need to be able to come over here, get some rest, have reduced stress levels so that you can maybe figure out a way to achieve that in your life as far as lifestyle design, whatever it may be. So don't necessarily want to use something that's a crutch, but if you have chronic, whatever it may be, and this is a solution, like, yeah, like it's chronic, it's going to be there forever, find a good solution for it. Or on the other side, maybe find something, create some breathing room so you can actually deal with the root cause. But I will say this has absolutely helped, one, with respect to getting restful sleep, and in addition to that, kind of reducing those stress levels overall for me. One of the things brought up in the comments of one of my videos was, hey, have you heard anything with respect to CBD oil and tinnitus? And I said, I haven't heard anything, but now that you mention it, I can't remember the last time that I had experienced tinnitus, and I do have tinnitus. So if you're unfamiliar with that, ringing of the ears. And so I'm like, okay, like when was the last time? Started thinking about it and I couldn't think about it, like period. I'm not sure when the last time was. So I was like, okay, I will make a concerted effort. And to that end, I did. Went ahead, kept a log. And so probably around, I don't know, probably less than a week after I started the second bottle and started keeping a log. I first experienced it on the 16th of March when I was down at the tactical games. I noticed some of it then. I also noticed it on March 30th, again on April 14th, and on April 19th. I will say all of those times, to the best of my recollection and my notes, it was all pretty dim, pretty mild. It wasn't, I don't know that I've ever had it like really severe, but it absolutely was like I had to stop and be like, okay, yeah, a little bit of tinnitus right there. It wasn't pronounced at all. And how often did I usually experience? Terrible test subject. I don't know. So I do feel like there may be some credit to that. Again, over that span of probably about a month and a half, had 4 instances that I could actually like notice. And moving forward, as I stop taking this, which I'll revisit in about a month or so, and let you know where I am with stress as well as sleep and tinnitus. I'll continue to log that stuff, revisit it now that I ran out of my 2 bottles, and see where I'm at in about a month from now. But to the end of tinnitus, don't have a solid answer. I will try and get you one. Something else I did probably about 3 days ago as of filming this, as I was winding down on this very last bottle, is I went and took a drug test. Went in, I was like, give me that cup, I gotta pee. I've been drinking a ton of water. And I ended up getting the results back. Keep in mind, sample size of 1. Taking this full spectrum CBD oil from Uncanna, which has 0.3% THC. Mind you, only taking about half a serving once a day for the past like 2.5, 3 months now, I guess. 2 bottles of it. Came back negative. Didn't show up. Didn't show up for marijuana or anything like that. THC. And am I saying you're going to get those same results? Absolutely not. If you have a job where you have the potential to pop, probably, I don't know. You're a big kid, like you make that choice yourself. That was my experience though with respect to taking a drug test after taking about half a serving a day for the past 2+ months. So should you take this? I don't know, man. You do you. I will say it definitely helped with my sleep. Definitely helped on a certain level with just kind of stress, anxiety for me. And it's been said to help with a lot of other things. Again, not a doctor. That's just kind of my experience. After the next month, I will check back as far as where I am with sleep, stress levels, to include tinnitus, and let you know. But yeah, I definitely have found value in this. Is this expensive? Yes. No. I don't know. On the one hand, when you start looking at things like CBD oil, it's not apples to apples. So yeah, something will have CBD oil, but one, where is it sourced? Is it verified by a third party? All these different things. I think Uncanna, really solid company. One, they do actually like third party verify all their stuff. Additionally, their stuff is pure, i.e. it's not like doused with pesticides and stuff like that, which is important, especially when you condense something down. And the other thing is these bottles of their, what is it, full spectrum rather, 2,500 milligrams of CBD in this entire bottle. So each serving, full serving, 1 milliliter, I guess it is, has 83.3 milligrams of CBD oil. Why is that important? Well, you might have, mind you, this bottle right here costs about 140 bucks. You're like, damn, 140 bucks. You're like, I'm gonna get this other CBD oil. It's only 20 bucks. And it's like, all right, cool. And so that other bottle of like CBD oil for 20 bucks has like 50 milligrams of CBD oil in that entire bottle. You know what I mean? So when you look at it, actually try and make apples to apples if you're actually looking at getting some in that, what is the price per milligram of actual CBD? Pretty good metric to actually look at it. At that point, this starts to become a lot more cost effective versus a lot of other different brands of CBD oil out there, as far as the actual volume of CBD oil you are getting for the price that you're paying. The other thing with price to keep in mind is it's like, damn, 140 bucks. Like when you wake up from a bad night's sleep, like how much would a good night's sleep be worth for you at that point? Or the other way is like you'll balk at spending like 140 bucks on potentially a good night's sleep for, let's say, a month. But like no issue paying for that $5 latte every day for a month, like 150 bucks, right? 30 days. I don't know, it's kind of a matter of how you look at it. If you decide to pick some up, there's a discount code for you to use, save a little bit of money on it, and let me know how it treats you. I'm curious on your experience with it if you choose to go ahead and use some. And if you guys appreciate my content, I greatly appreciate the support. Whether it's liking and sharing videos or picking up stuff over at kitbadger.com, stickers, patches, maybe Badgered in access, and especially all you that support me over on Patreon, thank you guys very much. All of that means a lot, helps me get out, create more content for you guys. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.